All right, happy New Year, everybody. It's 2026. Got so used to saying 2025. Well, welcome to my channel. I am doing to win some easy money. Well, hopefully, well, it's not that easy, but it'd be nice to win some money. So the question is this: can an amateur like myself turn a $100 deposit into $10,000? I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't know how long it'll take. There's my $100. There's my $100 deposit right over here. See that? $100. That's it. I'm gonna see if I can turn that bad boy. I'm gonna see if I can add two more zeros to that bad boy. See how she goes. It's gonna be a grind. Okay. I come from a poker background, and this is almost like starting at the 2 and L, right? It's going to be slowly, but as soon as you start leveling up, it'll start to get faster and faster and faster and faster. So it's going to take a little time at first to get going. So I'm going to give it the old college try. Now all my sport picks are my own picks. I created templates. Now these templates, when I first started out with these templates last year, they were really bad. I was just diving into sports betting, right? But now I've upgraded them. I'm at a 4.0 right now. It took me all month just to do just to upgrade to everything that I wanted to do for January because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to do this, and I managed to do it. It only took 27 days to get it all up to date, everything all set and things. Now these templates, they are set for with some minor adjustments to all the sports pretty much throughout the year. All I have to do is just make some minor adjustments to them. Now with these templates, I'm really proud of these templates. I have so much faith in these templates that I take the Pepsi challenge against anybody's strategy with these bad boys. I think they're good. They're good. Well, they're good enough, anyways. I mean, all you have to do is win 2/3 of the time because you're not going to win them all, right? And but if you can win 2/3 of the time, man, you're on your way. Because I know with baseball, the last month of baseball, I think it's not that great because everybody's off their game. What I mean. Like it's just people are already in the playoffs or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's not good. That's what I heard anyway. I did one test today on all the game slates. I bet all the games, just testing out my, because I just finished it and I had to move some stuff around, but I finished it, my templates, so I decided just to bet all the games today except I missed one because I wasn't available to make this one bet. But I did it all. I checked it out, and I managed to get 6-3. So that's 2/3 of the time winning, right? I won 6 games, and I lost 3 using everything. There were some of those games I actually wanted to fade, just fold them. But I told myself, I wanted to try it, just to see how it goes, and then I did it. And just to help me when I finished picking. And then when I do my updates, I can actually go in because on my templates, I have another doc on Docs, Google Docs, like what to look for, so I can get better at reading my templates. One of the things that you need to do when you're sports betting is you got to be really good at analyzing data, right? Analyzing data. Now I did all kinds of stuff earlier in the NHL season. I actually did did my own goalie stats. And the GAA, the 5 vs. 5, all that stuff was all up there on Google Sheets. Everything was good to go. But I noticed I started getting confused looking at the number as the games went deeper, and then it was just like I was just looking at it, I was like, well, I ended up stopped looking at that, and I started just looking at the divisions and stuff like that, and just looking at that alone. I wasn't really looking at the top one anymore. So I just scrapped that. That's what I mean. I was just scrapping things, and just to make my updates a lot faster. And I started tracking SOGs as well. I thought I'd be using SOGs for the goalies, and then it turned out, I didn't bother using it. So that's scrapped too. So everything's kind of condensed now. It was really long to update, but now it's a lot easier, lots faster to update. So I come from a background in poker, and I use this one term. It's called static information and relative information. Static information is just what you have. So when I go into the pre-recorded videos that I'll be doing, it's basically just like these are the projected goalies, whatever projected pitchers or whatever, right? These are the projections. They're not confirmed yet. They're just projected, right? And then this is the old line from yesterday. Like when it comes to hockey, the lines are going to change, right? Sometimes those lines won't come out until maybe 30 minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes. Sometimes they won't even come out until the game starts. So some of those things you're going to have to fade them or fold them. And then from there you would just have to just wait and then look in the like I use Google and to track the scores and stuff like that. I use that, or you can use the score, any kind of things like that, any kind of sites and stuff. So all my templates are all done off of sites, and I just take those things out, and then I just manually just throw them into language that I can understand, and then I just go off of that. So just like I said before, it's my baseline for 1 unit is going to be $20. Okay, so when I say 1 unit, that means $20. Okay, so if I say I'm going to be betting 25% of a unit, that's going to be $5, right? If I say I'm going to be starting off with like 12%, 12.5%. That's like $2.50. That's what I mean. It's going to be a slow burn at first until you start getting a little bit higher. Hopefully, I don't really do too much of parlays. I mostly do just straight bets. But I might start to get a little bit into some parlays and stuff. So hopefully, that'll give us a little bit of boost. But the reason why I'm using BetMGM is because they do have boosts on there. Token boost, free tokens. Just things like that, things that's just going to help us, or help me, or you, help us, help the home team to get us where we want to go, which is $10,000. And it's gonna be it's gonna get pretty crazy if we manage to get up there. I mean, like even if you're betting like even if we make it at $20, 7 games, if you bet all 7 games and they all qualify to my templates, you know, 7 games, that's like 100, $120 out the door right there, bang, right? And we're gonna try to use the eventually we're gonna start to get to a point where we'll be in 1 unit of 10% of our total bankroll. So that's gonna be like once we get to like $500, like $5, and just things like that. We'll just be making those adjustments. So I'll be making a pre-recorded video during the night after I complete all my updates. I'll be throwing that up during the night, and then that's the static part. Okay, this is just what we know. Okay, like in poker, like you get I don't know, like a 10-9. You got a 10-9, and then a flop comes. It's like a pair of tens, and so you have ace 10-6, and two of them are suited, or maybe have a an 8, 9, 10, right? All suited, and you have a pair of tens. You have ace 10. So, in a static sense, all you have, I have a pair of tens with an ace kicker on this board, top pair, top kicker, but it's not that great because of the 8, 9, 10, and it's all suited, right? It's not that great because especially if it's multi-way, if it's 4 or 5, like that top pair is not that great anymore because of there's so many ranges that are overlapping. So that's basically what the static thing is. We know the goal. We don't know who the goalies are. All we know is the night before's lineup. We know that. So we're going to throw that into our pre-recorded video and make the projection off it, because sometimes the lines won't change, right? And the goalies will just stay as is, or they'll just change the goalies later on before game time. So I'll be coming on live, doing the live version from the pre-recorded version to see what videos are going to be confirmed. I'm going to see what games are going to be confirmed. I will be putting in like how much of a unit I'm going to be betting, and it's going to be grouped up into 2 things, right? My other account where I'll be sports betting on, and then my best picks are going to be on the MGM account. And there'll be times I'll be double dipping, because like it's a good one. Like the first game today was an over 5.5. I looked at it, and if I was doing MGM, I would have bet on MGM, and I also would have went over to my other site and bet it there again. I would have double dipped it, right? But those are not going to be inside the MGM bet tracker. So that's what I'm going to be doing, tracking my bets. Now the bet tracker will run to, I don't know if we'll get to 10,000 picks. I doubt it. But this year anyway, see how far we go. I mean, once, if we get up there, $7,000, man, a good game comes along, we're definitely going to be laying down a big bet, right? So those last few bets are going to make us or break us. It's going to be really exciting when we get to that part. But right now, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be exciting and boring. It's just you just gotta just stick to your guns. Don't take any shortcuts and bust out by I think this guy's gonna hit, because we might go on a, I don't know, like a 3, 4, 5 pick heater, in the straights. Just we're on fire, and then all of a sudden everything is saying bet this, and then it does something else. Maybe the goalie or whatever, the pitcher's hot, or the raining threes, they're throwing touchdowns, and all this crazy stuff could happen. So I call those bets like my pocket aces hands. You have like an 80% chance of winning. There's still a chance that you can lose. And even though it is the best starting hand, you can still lose. You can lose to a 2-3, man. If a 2 and 3 hits, you got two pair beats pocket aces, man. So I'm gonna be doing that. So they will be sorted out exactly how I'm going to be putting it. So when I make the bet, it'll actually say, okay, qualified bet, and then this is how much you're going to be betting. If you do follow along at 100, and then you just put in, I'll put in the percentage of how much you're betting, or I'll just put the dollars down, like $2.50 or $5. And as we start to get a little more, they're going to be like, these bets are going to be increasing, right? If we get that far. So hopefully we won't go bust. We shouldn't go bust. We should probably last. We should last for a few months with $100. We're controlling our bets. Everything should be great. Every now and then, if we see something good, we might take a shot. Maybe like $10. $15. That'll help if we do hit. So the live version will start probably about an hour before game time. Okay, that's when everything's up. I'll have everything all set up, everything all to go, ready to go. And then all I'm going to be doing is probably interacting with the community, whatever. If there's anybody on there, they're chatting, whatever. But I'm just waiting for like goalies, pitchers, all these things, lineups for confirmation. Right, once the confirmation hits, and then I just go to work, and then start going and just start updating the picks on what we're doing. We're going to fade some stuff. We're going to bet some stuff. Maybe we might have 10 qualified bets based off my templates, and we might only bet maybe just one. Who knows, right? It's just what it is, right? Like, we don't know. So, yeah. So that's pretty much everything I have to say about it. And I hope you see this video and like, subscribe. If you want to follow along, throw in some money, and just do what I do. And that's it. And let's see how much money we can win. Maybe, man, we might just hit that $10,000. Maybe sometimes in the fall, during football, when with a parlay or something. Who knows, right? Anything can happen, or we can just bust out in February, March. Like eventually, it's gonna get crazy if we get down to like $20. Like, oh my God, it's like, oh. I'll just end it, right? Just throw the whole thing down. Just go bankrupt. And that's the end of that, man. The end of the show. So I will be doing my other picks as well inside the thing when I do the live version as well. It just won't be part of the BetMGM sport. That's not part of the thing. It's just something that I'm just doing. And you can do the same thing as well. You can just go somewhere else and but as long as you're tracking your bets and stuff. But if you do everything that I do, all my bets are all tracked anyways, and I'll know exactly where everybody is if you did everything that I did for just the MGM, the BetMGM. You know what I mean? Like for your wins, I'll know your wins, how much you guys are at any given time, because you're doing what I'm doing, right? So don't jump the gun. Don't get frustrated. It's going to be a grind. Just keep that in mind. It's going to be a grind. And things will pick up as we start gaining momentum. Okay, man, that's great. Happy New Year, and glad you made it this far. Please subscribe, like, follow along to watch the challenge, and I hope you enjoy your year.